everybody. Welcome back to the Evermore YouTube channel. It's Chris back with a Rumour Has It video. Been a while since we've done one of these. Talking about players linked to Newcastle United in the coming transfer window. We're flying high at the moment. Champions League football is looking like a real possibility. So we're going to be linked to loads of players in the coming weeks before the season ends. And then hopefully when it ends and we are top four, we'll be linked to a hell of a lot more. So we'll be back doing loads of these videos. We're going to get stuck into this lad in a minute. Very exciting young player, the right kind of age that the club are looking at, and a position in defensive midfield that we massively need to cover. Just before we do, a little reminder, if you're new to the channel and you haven't checked us out before, please consider subscribing. We're over 2,700 now, so we really appreciate all the extra subs we've had over the last week or so. Loads of room for you. Come and smash the button. You won't regret it. Loads of Newcastle United chats and some stats as well, which we're going to get stuck right into in a minute. So who am I talking about? I'm talking about a young defensive midfielder, a Uruguayan who goes by the name of Manuel Ugarte, who plays for Sporting Lisbon. So most of you connoisseurs of European football probably know about this lad already. He's 21 years old. He's a defensive midfielder, and he's a hell of a player. We'll look at the stats in a minute. He's got great positional sense. He's quick, strong as well in the tackle. He's not scared to get stuck in and rough a few people up. Transfer market got him valued at about 25 million euro. And, that's a good price for a lad who's 21 years old. But just looking at the link, I'm looking at the article here that was pushed on from the Geordie Boot Boys. A good shout to them. So the report from Portugal was an outlet called The Record, which is via Sports Witness, has claimed that Newcastle have a growing interest in signing the 21-year-old defensive midfielder. It's not the first time that midfield enforcer has been linked to Newcastle United as well. So there is a £53 million release clause. I know transfer might have gotten tagged a lot less there. But apparently this is the publication Record. I think that Sporting may be willing to listen to offers below that to ensure a sale goes through. So a lot of these big clubs, these big European clubs, are struggling with FFP now. We've seen it with Barcelona, Real Madrid, Juventus, people like that. So we could get some real quality players here, some really, really good players of the right age, at a really good price if we play it right. Look what we did with Botman, look what we did with Bruno. So yeah, these players are out there. There's no doubt about that in my mind. Isak as well. I think we're probably underpaid for Isak. Look at how well he's playing. But let's get stuck into the stats then. On this lad, and we'll just see what he is all about. So this is Ugarte's stats. So Mark has loaded up his super duper slide computer. He's getting creative here, as you can see. So he's got a little bit more detail in terms of the statistics that we're going to look at for this player. So we'll break it down a little bit more. You can see the greens there. The greens are what we're really interested in. We'll look at some of the reds as well. But he's a defensive midfielder, as we say. His pass completion is right up there in the 99th percentile for defensive midfielders in the top 5 European leagues, which is brilliant. That's exactly where we want him to be. His medium pass completion is 94%, and his short pass completion is 90%. So it's okay having an overall passing percentage, but you can see where he does most of his good work. His long passes aren't great, but as a defensive midfielder, you don't tend to do that. You win the ball back, and you normally hit a few short passes, either popping off to the left or right, or slipping it through to a winger or something. So long balls aren't really your thing. That's more your centre halves or that quarterback style, De Bruyne type midfielder, which isn't what you do. So his through balls and his passes to the final third aren't particularly great, or in the penalty area, but that's not really where you want him to be. So he doesn't have a lot of assists, which you wouldn't expect, and he doesn't shoot a lot either. But when you go down to the greens, which is where you want this player to excel, this lad excels extremely well. You can see there his tackles in the attacking third is 99 percentile. So he wins the ball back in the attack so much. And that's exactly what we're all about. We're all about the press. We're all about getting that ball back quick. We've seen that from Joe Linton, from Bruno, from Isak, and this lad is more than capable of doing it. Same in the midfield. His tackling as a total is in the 99th percentile. Not only that, his tackles won are in the 99th percentile, and his interceptions are in the 98th percentile. He looks like a cheat code you would have on FIFA or something, this kid. So I totally understand why we're interested in him. And do you know what? If we could get him for 45 million quid or something, I say bid, go get him, because this kid could be exactly what we need. How does he compare to some of our other players? This is how he compares to Bruno Guimarães, who's an absolute superstar. We love Bruno to death. To be fair, signing a kid like this would help probably unleash Bruno to become more of an attacking midfielder, which apparently, and according to Craig Hope, that's how the club see him as well. You can see the difference here in terms of the ages and everything else. So, this lad's got 4 years on Bruno. Bruno's 25, he's 21. You can see in terms of the passing there, pass completion. So, pass completion out of 61.35 passes per 90 minutes. Ugarte's up at the 91 percentile. Bruno's in the 83rd. Bruno does try maybe some more adventurous passes too, so that maybe doesn't hit as many of them, gets closed down a fair bit as well in that attacking third. But you can see in terms of what they do as players, Ugarte does create a few more fouls or commit a few more fouls. That's kind of what he does. Tackling, he's a lot higher than Bruno would be. So you can see that that's because he's probably in that position a lot more, and recoveries as well. He's helping out his defence a lot more. But we're talking about two quite different players here. So in terms of some of the radar grid, Ugarte overlaps Bruno. We signed Bruno as a defensive midfielder, but we've said so many times he's a hybrid. He's not that kind of player. I think Bruno's better job for us might be in the kind of number 8 role. And if you can get a player like Ugarte to come and sit in and be that holding player and let Bruno and Joe Linton push on, that is a hell of a player to have in the squad. 21 years old as well, so I don't think Eddie Howe would throw him straight in. You'd have Sean as a backup as well, potentially, to him, in maybe that position. But this could be a really exciting signing. So let us know what you guys think in the comments below, whether you'd be happy with Manuel Ugarte. I'm sure there'll be loads of other players linked to us in the coming months, as we're saying, and some other key areas as well. Left back, right-sided centre-back cover for Fabian Schär, maybe pushing Fabian Schär for a starting berth, possibly even another centre-forward as well. Wilson and Isa are banging the goals, but both have injury problems this season, so we might need somebody else as well next season, especially if we've got the rigorous European football, which I think we will have, be it Champions League or Europa. We are going to have football in Europe to deal with next season, as well as the domestic football calendar, so we are going to have more strength in depth. But smash a comment, and we always like to hear from you guys. We always try our best to engage with you. As I mentioned at the start, if you haven't, consider subscribing, give this video a big like, helps get around YouTube, helps share the channel. This is Chris signing off until now. We'll be back with another transfer video soon. Let's keep supporting that team, McCoy United. We'll catch you later. Cheers, everyone. Bye.